Ole Miss rolls on, and they will be in the playoffs with or without Lane Kiffin. But like you said, I think he should either way. He should be coaching. I mean, this is how you got here. Why not ride it out? It would be really funny if he left, but they let him coach, and then they win the national championship. And then you're like, all right, so you're leaving your national championship team for a team that isn't even close right now? What are we doing? Welcome back to Mojo Sports, episode 27, and we have the week 14 review. Uh, Let me tell you, I was fucking terrible this week. I was so bad. Oh, you had a good week though. You went 4-2, coming out hot just in time.
Yep. Just at the end, last week, just when we needed it. Really, really great record to finish 30-46 for the regular season. So just how we drew it up to start the year. But we got some profits going into champ week. So that'll be fun. And still a lot of football left. Feels like the end of something, but it also feels like the beginning because now we get strictly good games.
Strictly good games paired with bowl games with 30 opt-outs per team.
Yeah,
So a little bit of both, I would say,
that's
actually.
true. That's
Yeah.
true.
And those games are they're so tough to bet. I was thinking about this, but I feel like the best strategy for bowl game betting is just chase the steam. Like if a line opens up at 3.5 and it moves to 5.5, 6.5, just take it. Like just follow whoever these professionals are that are moving these lines that are betting into these because they have updates. Follow them.
Yep. So you're going against CLV as a sham and just follow the CLV for bowl games. I don't hate it. I do
Yeah.
not hate it.
In the past 2 years, like I've seen games that this team's favored by 4.5 and they close as 7-point underdogs. Just like because their whole team opts out. And like, yeah, just nobody knows what's going on with these games. So I guess whoever's the professional bettors moving these lines, I would just trust them and say, if they were betting into it, the line is probably still good enough to bet into because
Yeah.
these games are chaos.
It feels a bit like betting NFL preseason, which is
Mhm.
always just a joke, but at the same time, very fun. So now these bowl games, when you're sitting around with your family and it's December 21st, you got nothing else to do. You might as well toss some money down on Cal playing, whoever. I don't even know.
Yeah. And we'll do a little bowl preview show or something. We'll figure it out once they get set up. But what we did get is we did get our conference championship matchups. And for the ACC, this is by far the grossest matchup. Since SMU lost to Cal tonight, we now are going to get Virginia versus Duke. And Duke does not seem like a playoff team to me. Call me crazy, but I think that brings them to what, 7 wins? Are they 7-5 on the season?
That's correct.
And
7-5.
they're likely, if they do win the conference championship, they're likely gonna be the first team to win a championship and not get in. I don't think they get an auto bid. I could be wrong, but yeah.
If you look at the ACC standings, so we have Virginia who's in at 7-1. They're in clearly with the 7-1 record. But then you look, we got SMU 6-2, which they just completely shit the bed tonight. Like when you're in, crazy they lost that game. 6-2 Miami, 6-2 Pitt, 6-2 Georgia Tech, and 6-2 Duke. Like just an absolute gong show for the ACC this year. And somehow, does it go by computer rank? I have no idea how Duke gets into this game, common opponent, something like that. But the fact that Miami's sitting at number 12 in the playoffs right now, based on the last week's playoff rankings, they're not in the conference championship, and it seems like a joke to me. Like that's a joke. They got to figure something else out because that doesn't seem right.
Yeah, I mean, the ACC is the saddest conference, right? Like, this is sadder than the Big 12.
Way sadder. way sadder. Yeah. Yeah,
The
that's
best team's not even in the fucking championship.
no.
The best team's Miami. I'm sorry. It is.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Duke has to win it, right? Like we're all rooting for Duke to win the ACC
Just for
championship.
chaos.
Yeah, just at this point. Yeah.
Yeah, just to
'Cause
see chaos, and I wanna see the committee just scramble. They have no clue what to do if Duke wins.
and to be real, the only reason Miami is going to the playoffs right now is because the committee has Notre Dame, who should be in the playoffs, with a loss to Miami. They just shot themselves in the foot and have to kind of bind those two together in a way. And now what do you do? Do you take out another Big 12 team that should make, like, it's just going to be a disaster, and nobody's going to be happy about it. Whatever decision they make, they're kind of fucked if they do, fucked if they don't for this one, which is, it's awesome to watch it blow up in their face.
And that's what I was gonna say, they did it to themselves.
You're
Like,
right.
I'm not, I don't feel bad for these guys. No, not at all.
Yeah,
Um,
exact opposite, to be honest. It's exactly what I root for.
yeah, purely chaos, that's all I want. Make their lives difficult. Give us something to bitch about. That's what keeps me happy, as long as I
Put your
always have something to get mad about.
put your hats back on, get back in the room, and let's figure this one out.
Yeah, a little charcuterie board, spend 3 hours talking ball. In the SEC, we're gonna get Georgia, Bama, uh, Texas A&M. Obviously, they lost to Texas on Friday night. We'll get to that game during the actual game recaps, but yeah, now we're looking at a typical Georgia Bama matchup, and you told us this at the beginning of the season. We said, yeah, that's what always happens. That's how it goes. So no surprise
Nothing.
there.
Yeah, the nothing ever changes game. We call that one.
Yeah. And then in the Big Ten, we get what everybody wants to see. We want to see Ohio State play Indiana, and we're gonna get that. Um, I did have somebody bring up a question. They said, "Don't you think Ohio State should just talk to Indiana and be like, hey, neither of us want to play this game. We both want to be co-champions, rest up, and get ready for the playoffs." And I thought the only argument is that whoever wins this game gets the 1 seed. So you hypothetically get an easier path to the national championship. Like if everybody wins that they're supposed to, you get to play the 4 seed. Meanwhile, the loser has to play the 3 seed. So I think that's the only thing, but curious to know what you think.
I mean, here's what I'm looking up right now, and this has implications for only two people in this conversation, and that would be Ryan Day and Coach Signetti. So if Ryan Day wins this game, he gets $100,000. If Signetti wins this game, I'm assuming it's about the same. So yes, that's the smart move, but no, because the people in Indy who put this game on and the fan bases would like to see a banner rose up in their stadium for Big Ten champs. So I don't know. These championship games, do they mean anything? Are we starting to be out on them? They start to feel like the most important thing right now because you're getting not only seeding, but the Tech BYU game, is that not that's a playoff game, right? So I don't know. It's these conferences like the SEC, it's the conferences like the Big Ten where win or lose, you're kind of in. Like those ones feel a little bit. But if Bama loses, are they out? Like these games, you can't penalize Bama for losing that game too much. I don't know. Yeah, it's an interesting setup how they've. I think you need to expand the playoffs is what I always come back to.
Oh my God, Joe. We already have 12 teams. And guess what, Joe?
FCS has 24.
Yeah, but guess what? There's not 12 teams that can actually win a natty. Like if we
Yeah,
look at 12 teams going into this playoffs, there's probably only 6 that are actually in contention to win the whole thing,
it
which is
was.
my argument.
Yeah, no, it is quite the. I think it's the peak college football experience tonight when you're watching UNLV play Reno in this game that means a lot for the conference. It means a lot for the Mountain West. Okay, then you flip over to the Iron Bowl. You flip over to Bama and Auburn. And to say that those two games are in the same sport, playing for the same championship, it's kind of asinine. It just could not be two different worlds. So I agree with you, but at the same time, I'll never complain about more teams being in a playoff. I'm gonna expand the game, guy. So put more out there. Yes, maybe they can't win a championship, but you get 2, 3 wins in the playoffs. That's still pretty fun.
Yeah, don't get me wrong, as a consumer, I don't mind it,
Right.
but doesn't make a whole lot of sense. College basketball is talking about moving up to like 96 teams for the tournament. And I'm like,
So
okay,
everybody gets it.
yeah, like more games to bet on, sure, but do we think we're like, hey, maybe, we have 68 right now, but number 70 could have won the national championship this past year. We just didn't give them a chance. So I don't know. The more teams you bring in, also, I think it just makes the regular season more watered.
I agree with
Like
that.
it gives you the ability to lose 3 to 4 games and know that you're still getting in.
Yeah,
Which then long term, I just think leads to teams sitting players like the NBA. Like I think it just gets to a point where you do realize the smartest thing is to just accept losses because you have losses to give. Which growing up, college football is like if you lose week one, you might as well just hit the weight room and get ready for next season because you're already dead, which I
it's true.
hated. I
Yeah,
hated. Um, some people loved that aspect. I didn't like that. And so I'm happy with where we're at now, where you have a little breathing room, but if you lose one, now you're really on edge.
yeah. I think I semi disagree with that take too. I think 11 this year. I think the field is a little bit more even than it's ever been. I think there are some clear teams that should win the national title, but I think in this field, not counting the group of five team, I don't necessarily think they could go and win a national title. But I think 11 out of 12 this year, maybe not a strong chance, but there's an outside chance that even the 11 seed could come in and win. Because if you put Miami at the 11 seed, I don't think they'd win it, but it wouldn't be the craziest thing in the world, especially if they get some sort of weird lineup with who they play. I don't know. I think this year, out of any, we are seeing more of a path for any team. Like years past, no, right? It'd be Bama, it'd be whoever. But this year, it feels like any given Saturday, kind of.
Yeah, this year's definitely better than last year, but what I do in my head is I just put that team against Ohio State and I just say,
Yeah.
all right, are they beating Ohio State? And for the majority of teams, the answer is no, they're not beating Ohio State. Um, so that's where it gets tough for me.
Yeah.
But then we go Big 12 championship. We're going to get Texas Tech BYU, which we've kind of known for weeks. So that one hasn't really changed. Uh, just a lot of build up to that game at this point. And then our group of five, it's either going to be James Madison or the American champion, who is going to be either Tulane or North Texas. They're going to play each other for the championship. And I don't know. I saw a tweet that said that if Duke wins the ACC championship, they might keep Duke out of the playoffs and bring in two group of five teams, which seems ludicrous to me. I don't see how that can happen. Um, but I guess if you had to pick out of these three teams, North Texas, Tulane, James Madison, which one do you think is the most likely to actually hit an upset in a college football playoff?
North Texas, strictly because of their offense. I think their offense can overcome their bad defense. And I think that they are that potent on offense to be able to put up enough points to get something done. Um, Tulane, I don't like watching them play. Just the style of play is kind of gross to me. And James Madison is a fun story, but I don't know. I just don't see that as much. So the North Texas team, I think they have the best chance, and they have the firepower to get something done.
Did how much did Washington State lose to them by James Madison?
4 points,
And how much did they lose to by Ole Miss?
4 point, 3 points, 4 point. Less. It's less. Yeah, it's about the same. Yeah, yeah,
Whoa.
yeah.
Whoa. James Madison may be better than Ole Miss. People are
How
saying.
How much did Washington State lose to North Texas by?
I think 100.
Yeah, yeah, 500. Yeah. So
Yeah,
North
there you
Texas
go.
better than James Madison and Ole Miss.
Bingo. Yeah, I do like North Texas. And then like the weird thing is that these three programs, as soon as you get yourself in this conversation, your program just gets decimated. All these
Decimated.
coaches are getting
Yep.
plucked right now, and all the players are going to transfer out. So, like, the group of five is very much just one hit wonders these days.
Yep. Yep. Except James
Fascinating.
Madison. Somehow they, like
Yeah.
wow, that's the home of the Signetti. So I think it's just a factory for these guys. They go there and they win a bunch of ball games and then they get so much money.
Yeah. And he's going to leave, and then some other Signetti's going to come in. And it's just a factory right now. Yeah. Um, Storylines from this week, I didn't have too many weird ones that we weren't already gonna, like, go through in the game recaps. Um, Fortunately, there were no stabbings this week as far as player on player, although we saw some good brawls, which Rivalry week, you're always gonna see them. There was one in the Egg Bowl. I thought we were gonna get one in the game, Michigan, Ohio State. Um but I did see a tweet that said UAB was down 39 players today, whether it be opt outs, injuries, whatever. Didn't have 39 of their players, and they still won by 7 against Tulsa. So that was my shout out of the week.
Yep. Yep. Insane. I don't think there's too many other storylines. I didn't see too many either. Um, we've got a couple new coaching hires. Southern hires Marshall Falk as
Yeah.
their head coach, so that's kind of a fun one. And
Was
then
he at Colorado?
obviously, I think he was on staff. Yeah, I think
Okay.
so. I think that sounds right. Um, Speaking of Colorado, Dion had a quote that said this season was like the Last Supper. I don't fully know the context of that one, but I thought it was a great quote.
Warren Sapp's
Um,
going to stab him in the back, I'm thinking. Fucking
just some Roman
Judas.
Empire stuff. Yeah, so I don't know. There wasn't too much else that wasn't played out on the field, in my opinion. There's a couple coaching hires out there that are waiting. We're obviously all waiting for Lane Kiffin here. We'll get to that, but
Oh,
yeah,
let's
kind
hop
of
into it right now.
all right. Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean
yeah.
Lane Kiffin. Every news story is about him right now. Will he leave? Will he stay? Either place, he's going to get a ton of money. Uh, Reporters calling him a hoe, saying can't make a hoe out of a housewife. So Lane Kiffin's the talk of the town, and I saw some tweets saying that he was going to go live on Twitter during the Bama Auburn game just to keep the conversation off of them and onto himself. I thought that would have been just perfect, and I really wish that would have happened. But I am reading reports that we will know first thing tomorrow of Lane Kiffin's decision, and I've seen very strong reports on both sides of the aisle of he's staying and he's leaving to LSU. So I have no clue.
I think he's staying. What do you think?
I think he should stay. Personally, I think it's more fun, but I also think at this point I don't really give a fuck, and let's move on and get him where he's gonna be. You know what I mean?
Yeah. If you were if you were them, if you were the AD at Ole Miss and Lane says, "Hey, I'm taking the LSU job," are you letting him coach the playoffs?
Think you would be doing a disservice. Like, what like financial advisors, they have fiduciary duty to their clients, so they
Yeah.
always have to do what's in their client's best interest. I think the AD has fiduciary duty to Ole Miss. He has to let him coach. Here's my take on this. You want to hear my Lane Kiffin take?
Love that.
I don't think it matters where he goes. I don't see him winning a national title in the next 3 to 5 years, no matter where he's at.
Yeah, that's fair, right? I
I
mean,
don't. So
he
what
seems
is
like
this
the
all
guy that
about?
can't get it done. He can be fun. He can get you
Right.
close.
Yeah.
But
But
he's
this
definitely
it's like
missing that extra element.
we're talking about Jesus Christ when it's Lane Kiffin. Like he is the guy for all these jobs, and it's like the fix all for everything. I think he'll come in and win you a bunch of ball games, but I don't think it's like this for LSU. You know, is that the golden ticket? Then all of a sudden they're just back and starting to win a bunch of natties. I don't think so. You still got to deal with Ryan Day. You still got to deal with Signetti. You still got to deal with DeBoer. Like there's just no world in where this solves everything, and I don't understand the discourse that much. I get that he's a great coach and probably the number one hire this year, clearly, but why? Why so much hoopla about it? I don't get it.
Wah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I think he's a really good fit for the current like landscape of college football. So maybe they're kind of trying to see into the future and be like, hey, maybe this is the guy. Maybe he is the future Saban. But yeah, I kind of agree. At the same time, when you look at the coaching carousel, like it feels like he's the best option. Yeah. Which a lot of it's just timing, right? Just being right time, right place. Um, I think he said the report that just came out like 10 minutes ago said that he is going to announce it at a team meeting tomorrow morning, Sunday morning. Uh, which I don't know what that means because I feel like that's kind of the thing you would do if you're like, hey, I want you guys to know before I tell the world I'm out of here. That's like the vibe I'm getting.
It's either that or the Wolf of Wall Street. I'm not fucking leaving. It's one of the two.
Oh, dude, if he throws that up on the projector, that would be so hype.
So sick. He has no choice. I think I would do it. I think I would stay just for that moment and then
I
leave after.
Yeah, I know. Like, fuck, that was fun. But seriously, I'm actually out of here. It's been real.
They've
The
offered
money's
me
too good.
95 gazillion dollars and four houses. I'm leaving.
I mean, the good thing about today's day and age is you could just bring your whole team over there. You just take the money and
That's true.
you just replace all the players with your. That's what Dion did. So yeah, you could just walk into the meeting tomorrow and like, boys, we're going to LSU. Pack your bags.
You guys like gumbo?
Sure, we
Yeah,
shit talked about the school all year long, but now we're a part of the brotherhood. Go Tigers. Well,
yeah.
speaking
Let's
of
get it
Lane,
done.
let's go to the games right now. That was the first game Friday morning. That was the game everybody wanted to see. The Egg Bowl. Classic rivalry, in-state rivalry, Mississippi State. And normally a tight, close game. This one started off decent, started off good, and then Ole Miss finally just kind of broke away. And it was getting chippy out there, but a lot of bark, no bite from Mississippi State and the Bulldogs.
Yeah, yeah. This one felt like a potential blowout, and that's exactly what we got. Mississippi State had kept a lot of close, a lot of games close this year, but Ole Miss is just playing for way too much, and they weren't going to let that one slip.
No. And Ole Miss rolls on, and they will be in the playoffs with or without Lane Kiffin. But like you said, I think he should, either way, he should be coaching. I mean, this is how you got here. Why not ride it out? It would be really funny if he left, but they let him coach, and then they win the national championship. And then you're like, all right, so you're leaving your national championship team for a team that isn't even close right now? What are we doing? But that is TBD. Either way, I just wish I got a LeBron decision out of this. I wish we got the ESPN cameras set up in the house and he made this in front of the world. But uh then after that, we had Iowa, Nebraska. That was a snowber. Everybody talked about how cold this game was going to be, low scoring, and Iowa hits the over by themselves. They didn't even need Nebraska to show up to do this one. Um, the Raiola stuff is now, starting to pick up. People are talking about him going to Texas Tech after we talked about it already earlier this week. Um, so I think we were the first to report on that. And yeah, Nebraska seems like they're trending down.
Yeah, yeah, big time. I am. I don't know. Am I out on Rule? That's the conversation I've been having with myself. I mean, it's one season, but it's Matt Rule year 3, And I don't know where you go totally from the same spot. You know, you're in these 7 and 5 spots. Is that good enough? Nebraska historically has decided that's not good enough. You fire Bo Pelini, you fire Mike Riley, both winning 9, 10 games a year. So at what point is the decision to just accept those type of seasons? I don't know. I don't know where you go from here for a program like that. Do you start over again? It doesn't feel like that's the right move either, but I don't know. This was an ass whooping. Iowa has dominated the Huskers the last 5, 6 years, and it's just a shitty, shitty way to end the season. Now you'll see him in a bowl game, obviously, but without Raiola, without I don't know. Yeah, it's I have nothing. I have no hope. And then next season we'll be talking again, and I'll be putting my Nebraska national title futures in once again.
If I was Rule, I would be regretting not leaving, but at the same time, he's sitting on a lot of money now. So can you really be mad? Is
Yeah, I don't know.
Nebraska mad?
Weird.
Is Nebraska like, what did we get ourselves into?
I'm wondering that.
Yeah.
I'm wondering that because what is the outlook? You know, this was the year. It's year 3, so technically most of your guys are your guys. Like the excuses start to fall off. You have Dana Holgerson as your OC, so you should be able to score points. I don't.
They
What do
just
you do
reset
now?
the clock with the extension. We're next year's year 1.
You're
So they bought themselves 3 more years. They're like, yeah, Matt Rule year 3 part 2
I
coming in
just they
2028.
it feels like it was like crazy there for 3, 4 weeks with the coaching stuff, and it was hey, you know, we got to lock him up because we're gonna, you know, it was like a frantic thing. And now buyer's remorse. I don't know. I mean, you've got the Raiola injury so that you can fall back on that. That's an easy one to be like, hey, our starting quarterback got hurt. They did have, like, if you saw the graphic, I don't know if you saw this one, but the Iowa Nebraska graphic, there was probably 25 players out for Nebraska. So they were very, very hurt. I don't know if that makes a difference in this game. I don't think it'd be 40-16, but at the same time, I don't know. Yeah, everybody's hurt at this time of year. It feels like so.
Yeah, we're all
I'm
banged up.
I'm out of excuses at this point.
Hey, even you and I, we're a little banged up this time of year, man.
Yeah.
Episode 27. My legs are falling off. After that, we got Georgia at Georgia Tech, and this was my dumbass bet of the week. I took over 59.5. This game ends up 16-9. So just barely cleared 20. Um, yeah, I was gonna need about 25 overtimes to get to my total, and just didn't get it in the end. Um, but they played very tight. Georgia Tech played very tight. Seems like this is becoming a better rivalry each year. Like last year, we got those 8 overtimes. This year, close game. We get a Hail Mary at the end that has a chance. So I like this. I like that this is competitive, but we all knew Georgia was going to pull it out in the end.
Yep. Yep. And Haynes King, the perfect Haynes King game. I mean, it was pretty much every single game you watch was a carbon copy of this one. He's just a bruiser. He makes a couple good throws. The game's close. So it was a fun game, but yeah, I wish there was some more points just for entertainment value, to be honest.
And Georgia Tech is better than Duke in my mind.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, there's about 4 teams in the ACC. You could say that you know that about. We're not getting that. We're getting a Sweet 16 matchup, baby. Virginia Duke.
Can't wait. Um, Mountain West implications. We had San Diego State. They played New Mexico. This game went to multiple overtimes, and in overtime, it was a turnover fest. Um, San Diego State throws a pick immediately to start OT. And then from there, New Mexico, they drive right down and they're like, oh, we're just going to run it in and fumble on the 3-yard line. And we reset from there. But ultimately, New Mexico does pull out the win 23-17. And now we have very complicated Mountain West standings because UNLV got the win tonight. Boise beat Utah State, and now we're looking at a tie scenario that's going to go to computer rankings, and we don't even get to find out who's playing in the championship until tomorrow.
Yeah. It's a joke, unserious conference, the way they decide this with the computer rankings. But these two games between San Diego State, New Mexico, and Boise State, Utah State, I mean, by far and away, the best two games on Friday. Both of them were just electric games, and everybody kind of knew what was on the line. Um, this New Mexico, we've talked about it, ad nauseum here on this podcast, but Jason Eck has done one of the best jobs in the country in terms of turning this New Mexico program around. He is a damn good ball coach, and now New Mexico is in the conversation for a Mountain West title when they were picked to be near the bottom, if not last, in the Mountain West. So a great job by him, great uniforms from New Mexico, and a crazy, crazy win in a sold-out stadium that has not been sold out in a very long time. So that was a super fun game. The Boise State, Utah State game, it's also just funny to watch Utah State's coach, who left New Mexico last year. He was there for a year, was in Albuquerque, and said, "This place sucks." Left because they went 5-7 to another Mountain West job that's about the same caliber. New Mexico and Utah State are about the same in terms of resources and all that. So hilarious just to see the drama within the Mountain West. And like you said, we got to wait till Sunday morning to even find out who's in these games. So ridiculous, but we're thinking it's going to be UNLV, and we also think that it'll most likely be Boise State. I think that's the two. I don't know.
I just asked Grok to rate the Mountain West teams, to rank them. And Grok makes Boise State and San Diego State 1 and 2 in the conference, with UNLV third, New Mexico fourth. So hopefully they're not asking Grok tonight, because Grok doesn't know shit. I'm
He
going to
must not have seen the
chat.
game tonight.
No, I don't think he did, actually. I'll have to ask him if he did. Um, yeah, I should probably log out. I'm gonna get into a big fight with Grok, and I don't want to do that right now. But yeah, I'm excited to see if the Rebels make it in. We need it. We blew out Reno tonight, so hopefully that's enough to put us over the edge on the computer rankings.
And you've got a UNLV future, right, for Mountain West?
7-1. Yeah,
Wow.
put
Wow.
$100 on it. 7-1.
Wow. Let's
Yeah.
go.
But about 4 weeks ago, I had already counted as a loss. So anything,
Yeah.
if we do get in,
It's a bonus.
it's a bonus. Yeah, I've already. The biggest game of Friday was the battle for Texas. Texas A&M playing in Austin against the Longhorns, and this game had a little bit of everything. Started slow, eventually got some scoring. Marcel Reed, A&M's quarterback, he went down with what looked like a gruesome injury at first. Like, people thought he was for sure done, not coming back. Um, the books, they moved really hard towards Texas. And then all of a sudden you see Marcel Reed and he's warming up on the sideline. You're like, oh, this guy looks like a fucking all-star wide receiver right now. Like, he was making cuts, and you're like, yeah, he's playing. He came back, they take the lead. And then the second half was all Texas. Once Texas got rolling and that stadium started rocking, A&M, the stadium pulse just took over, and there was no coming back from it. They lose by 10 overall, and now people are saying this is going to put Texas into the playoffs. And if we know anything, the committee would love to see Texas in the playoffs.
Yep. I think that ACC stuff you're talking about earlier, the tweet where it's saying 2 group of 5s, I think the second group of 5 is Texas, because like you said, the committee, they would love to see Texas here. And this was a good win. This was a really good win for Texas. Arch played well. This is the Texas team I think a lot of people thought would kind of show up the whole year. And this is also the A&M team that everybody was kind of yelling from the rafters, like, hey, these guys are kind of fraudulent, and we don't think they could win these games. I don't know. This was a really fun game, though. I did live bet Texas when I saw Reed go down. I caught it before the books moved, and then he came back in, and I was like, oh shit! But it ended up paying out, so that was nice. This game cost me a parlay that went 16 for 17. It was a $10 parlay to win $7,000, and this single money line cost me that. So just real depression here when we're bringing this up. It's a sore subject. I've looked at that bet about 1,000 times. It was a Friday, Saturday parlay, and the rest of them hit today. So just depression there. But I'm close. I'm the guy, the meme, the diamond guy. I'm not gonna stop. I'm the guy on the top. I'm just gonna keep digging until I hit those diamonds.
You're so close. You just got to keep firing. Um,
It's
yeah,
not exactly what they want you to do. It's like, oh, you're one away.
one away. Keep going. um,
It's a
is Marcel
scratch off
Reed
tickets
just?
when you.
Are you going to be an all-time hater now?
No, no. We were kind of talking about it before this. I would make the same bet again. I think I really do.
Okay,
I think if they played this game again tomorrow, I think I'd take Texas A&M money line because I do think they're the better team. But I think at Texas, that was something that I didn't quite factor in. That stadium was
it was
insane.
rocking. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
that felt like the difference once they finally took the lead, and you heard that stadium, and you could like feel it through your TV. I even was just like, yeah, A&M might be toast right here. Like, I don't know if they can come back from this, and they didn't. So,
No. And it sounds
it,
ridiculous, but I think on the road, Arch Manning doesn't play as well as he did. I think that energy like really boosted him up with the crowd because it you could tell like he had a couple big runs and he was just fired the fuck up once he felt that crowd noise. I mean, who wouldn't be? That electricity run through your veins, like
yeah,
I think that gave him a little bit of superpower there.
he had a great touchdown run, but I also was in a group chat, and someone said, "This guy reminds me of JJ McCarthy." He just misses, like, easy throws, like, people are downfield wide open, and he, like, instead of putting it on them, he just kinda floats it out there, and it's just like, yeah, I hope this lands before anybody can, like, run to that guy." So, I kinda like the comp.
Yeah, no, that's a great comp to be honest. I think
Yeah,
it's also like the Mbappe where he's 18, like everybody's just saying he's young. Every time he does something, it's like, oh, this is this guy's first time playing. Like, give him some time. And I don't know.
yeah,
I don't know. We'll
till
see.
he's in year 7, and you're still saying that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just young art.
Yep. Yep.
We capped off the night with, Arizona versus Arizona State, another big in-state rivalry, and this one was a ranked matchup, which was really cool to see. I think everybody felt like Arizona was the better team going into this because of what Arizona State has had to go through injury-wise, losing Sam Levitt and then Jordan Tyson up and down the whole season. Um, yeah, so, Arizona eventually, though, pulled away. It looked like ASU was gonna mount a comeback there for a little bit, and Arizona finally shut the door on that one.
Yeah. And Tyson did go out of this game, I think at about halftime, so that really hurt him. But the real storyline of this game that everybody should just pay attention to is Jeff Sims. I mean, if you have not had the Jeff Sims experience, this game
Consider
gave it to
yourself
you.
lucky.
And yeah, I've been yelling from the rafters about the Jeff Sims experience because I saw it at Nebraska. I knew what it was. And I think people in Arizona, it was like, oh, he kind of had a couple good games for him, a couple big runs. People liked him at Arizona State. It was whatever. And then this game, just right in your face, Jeff Sims. And he had a couple bad picks, a couple bad fumbles. They had 5 turnovers total, I think, in that game. So this game came down to nothing else but quarterback play, in my opinion. And Mr. Sims is to blame.
Yeah, he's terrible, and that was the reason why I couldn't bet on ASU this
Couldn't,
game,
can't do it,
purely because of him.
can't do it.
Yeah.
And you were right.
Yeah, thank God. It was, one of the only ones I didn't bet, so that was the one I was right about. Um, I just got breaking news. LSU expected to hire Lane Kiffin.
Wow. Okay.
I just
All
saw an
right.
ESPN report, notification. And I don't know. Can't confirm, can't deny, but that did just come across the ticker. And maybe somebody said something they weren't supposed to say. Maybe Lane was like, "Hey, I want to tell the team first," but they just blasted that out there. Did you get that notification?
It also, yeah, and I'm seeing Brett McMurphy is saying Lane Kiffin essentially demanding to finish the season with Ole Miss while simultaneously threatening to poach the entire roster and staff
Bingo.
if he
Yeah,
can.
exactly.
So it's I think they were listening. They got that report from us.
Bingo. Yeah, we just said it 20 minutes ago.
Yeah, I just this is the problem with college football right now, and this is the problem with the timing of all this. What are we doing? What are we doing? We're like this. I don't. This did happen in the NFL though, didn't it? Didn't they had? Wasn't there a coordinator that left before the end of a playoff
Mm.
with the Lions? I can't remember. Or they were
Who,
they
like
were
Ben
no, they
Johnson?
didn't leave. They would still coach, but they take the interviews during the playoffs. That's what it was.
Yeah,
That's what it
that's very
was. So
popular, especially during like the Super Bowl. Um, that's a time when a
right.
lot of teams are hiring, and usually the coordinators in the Super Bowl are getting interviewed for a ton of jobs because they just got to
Yep.
the Super Bowl.
Yep.
Um, yeah, so that does happen a lot, and it's been a betting angle in the past where you're like, hey, how locked into this game plan is this guy if he's fucking flying around the country right now?
Yep.
Man, we're gonna have
Well,
to fade Ole
if
Miss in the first playoff game.
and if he does go to LSU, I mean, great for us, great for storylines, and that LSU Ole Miss game is going to be one to remember.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Let's hop over to the Saturday games and let's just kick it off with the big one. Big boys only. Ohio State, they went to Michigan. Ryan Day gets the win. Ryan Day finally does it. Monkey off the back. He's now what, 1-4 against Michigan, but he did it this year and wasn't a close game, I would say. Michigan basically came out early and was like, "Hey, we're here." And Ohio State was like, "All right, here we go." Jeremiah Smith scores the first touchdown of the game. Happy birthday to him, by the way. Today was his birthday. We should have bet anytime touchdown score. That should have been a guarantee. I'm gonna get on our stats guys for not telling us it was his birthday. Um, and then Darnell Tate gets a touchdown. Ennis gets a touchdown. All their wide receivers score, and they were just so much better. My biggest takeaway from this game is why did Bryce Underwood go to Michigan? Because he's in an offense that he doesn't even get to do anything. Where he like
Do anything. It's
you're not
disgusting.
using him, and he's the number one high school prospect in the nation.
Yep. And he's got a cannon attached to his shoulder. I can't understand it. I hate watching Michigan play because of that. They're playing like they got JJ McCarthy still. That's what they're playing like. And I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like Sherrone Moore as a coach. I don't. I think all those things about being born on third base with Ryan Day, I think that's literally what happened with Sherrone Moore, and I just don't
Yeah,
understand. I don't understand the spot they sit in. But this to me was the obvious play of the day. It was always Ohio State. This was one of those where it's like, oh, you can't just bet on Ohio State 10.5, make money. You can. And when they held Michigan to 2 field goals after the disastrous start they had, to me that was kind of the point of like, yeah, this game, the only doubt I had in my head watching this was, is Ohio State going to cover because of the snow? I was like, oh, it's going to get a little slippery. Points are going to be hard to come by. But I don't know. This one felt like if Ohio State lost it, they would fire Ryan Day. There was no losing this game. There was no losing this game for Ohio State.
and you saw the Buckeye. He went into the end zone. He crossed out the Michigan M. He
Sick.
wrote Ohio. That was electric. Then after the game, the Michigan players wouldn't leave the field. They stayed at midfield and they said, "We're not letting you plant any flags. We're protecting the M." Which then Ryan Day came over to Moore and he was like, "Yo, you got to get these guys off field." He was like, "We're not going to do any dumb shit, but you and I both know if they stay out here long enough, something's gonna happen. So, no pepper spray this year, though.
No. I like the staffer coming out to wipe away the X in the Ohio on
Yeah.
the field after the mascot did it. I thought that was funny. Yeah, that's just peak rivalry week right there.
Highlight of the game for me was the Michigan safety or linebacker headbutting the referee. Um, that's just an
Awesome.
all-time picture. Yeah. Yeah, that's a flag, I'm pretty sure. Don't think you can do that.
What do you what do you do?
He thought he was one of his boys,
It was
dude.
like
He
a
was giving them
it was like a pivotal moment too. Like it went from third down to first down in the red zone. It was like, dude, what are you thinking in that moment? I don't think he was thinking. That's the point.
That's rivalry week, baby. You don't think, you just act.
Yeah.
Pure instinct. Alright, from there, we went to, ACC. We had Miami at Pitt, and I was on Pitt +7, felt good about it. Line closed 6.5. Gotta love that CLV. CLV, it's priceless, let me tell you. And, they got blown the fuck out, man. This was not a game. Miami put it on them, and, Miami is now just playing the waiting game. They don't even get to be in their own championship. It's the worst spot to be. You have no control over what's gonna happen, and you just hope that you gave the committee enough money before the season.
Yeah. This is this is what's funny because you get Ole Miss, who everybody's like, oh, they're I mean, aside from probably losing their coach, but it's hey, they're in a prime spot. They're in the playoffs. They don't have to play a conference championship game. They can rest up. So it's the exact opposite for Miami because you don't even know if you're going to be in, but I think they get in. I really do. And then we get to watch Mario Cristobal lose a playoff game. So that'll be fun. It's going to be a hate watch for Carson Beck, which we also love.
We do love that, and I just think it would make the matchup so much better. As I'm looking at these college football playoff teams that we know are in, Miami is one of the teams in the country I would like to see test some of these big dogs.
100%. 100%. And they've not been in a big game for a while. Like they haven't played in one of those primetime spots in a minute. They had a lot of big games early, and then it feels like we haven't seen much of them late.
Yeah, and they won the big games, and then they shit their pants in the games they shouldn't have, and then after they shit their pants, they were like, "We gotta blow everybody out," and that's basically what they've been doing. That's the season for them, but I do hope they get in. I think we both do, and, yeah, we'll keep our eye on them. After that, we got Clemson at South Carolina, another big rivalry battle for Carolina, and, I was all over South Carolina. I love them in this spot, and wrong again. I had a terrible week, so no shocker, but Dabo gets a big win. It was a blowout. Not really, but 28-14. It felt like a blowout, to be honest. Like, as a bettor of South Carolina, that I didn't think we were gonna win this game at any point.
No, this was actually a game that I loved Clemson in just because of Dabo and because of their recent weeks. And I wanted to put like a fat unit lay here, but I didn't. I just kept it light because I was like, I can't trust Dabo. But I just felt like this was a Dabo spot because late in the season, they've been winning some games. South Carolina lost their coach. It just
Mhm.
or have they lost their coach? I don't know if they've actually fired him.
I think we fake reported it one week,
Yeah,
and we've just rode with it since then. I'm
every
pretty sure
week.
Beamer's still there.
Well, it'll be coming. I think he'll be fired. I don't know. Yeah.
First
So
reported on Mojo Sports.
as part of my thesis, I thought, they don't have a coach, so Clemson's going. It paid off. They basically didn't have him.
Yeah, Lenore Sellers, I don't even know what happens from here with him. Yeah, I don't know. Is he just Anthony Richardson 2.0?
He's what everybody thinks. Like he wishes he was Marcel Reed. That's what it is.
Yeah,
He's
I
Costco Marcel Reed.
I love Marcel. Ah, God, I love that guy. I love that.
I
He's a
know.
great kid. Great
I
kid.
know.
Great teeth too.
He owes me $7,000 though.
Yeah, he does. I have a buddy, and when he loses a parlay like yours, where he lost 7K, he he says that. So instead of
I
saying
lost
that he
them.
he lost $5, he says, "I lost $7,000 this week." That's how he, like, explains his gambling, which is just the wildest thing to me, and he asked me, he's like, "Do you do that?" And I was like, "No, dude, I don't think anybody does that."
No, but I definitely it feels like that. It feels
Yeah,
like
and
I
that's why
lost
he
7
does it.
grand. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, he's not wrong.
Moving on to the later slate, we got Oregon at Washington, and Oregon, they just kinda kept control of this game from start to finish. Washington, tough first half. Let me tell you, they just started way too slow, to get anything going. Oregon eventually just kinda stepped on their necks, but 26-14, nothing crazy. Just diving more into my bad betting, I was on over 51.5. Expected Washington to score more than 14.
Jed Fish, man, I just you can't trust the guy. I'm coming to that conclusion. You can't do it. Washington did almost come back and win this game, but Oregon scored some late touchdowns. So I just I can't do it. I can't do it, Jed Fish. I don't know what it is about him, but something bothers me with that guy. So yeah, I think Oregon, again, same spot, right? In the playoffs, not in a conference championship game, get a chance to rest up their guys. So just an interesting spot that some of these teams are sitting in. But I like Oregon. I like Oregon. They have a great defense. Dan Lanning gonna have the guys fired up for a playoff game. So I really like Oregon to make it a deep run here in this playoff.
Just like you said, Oregon's in the perfect spot. Don't have to play a championship and get the rest up. And they've been heating up. They're winning big game after big game. So, right where you want to be. Then we got LSU at Oklahoma. And this was almost the shakeup of the day. Oklahoma scores late in the fourth quarter, 4 minutes left to finally take back the lead. And if they lose this game to LSU, there's no way they make the playoffs. Now, I would say, yeah, they're still going to be in the playoffs based off their ranking, even though this was a terrible win. Offense looks so bad. Here looks terrible. Even my fiance texted me at one point today, and she was like, "That Mateer guy you talked about, he sucks." And I was like, "Yeah, that's fair." Yeah, I was like, "Sure." Um, but yeah, they pull it off, and but this is just kind of how they play. They play the gross game, and then they say, "We're going to beat you in the fourth quarter." And we don't care how we do it. We're just going to get one more point than you in the fourth quarter, and we're going to win.
Yep. They're gonna drag some poor soul down in this playoff into the mud,
Yeah.
and they just better hope it's not North Texas, because North Texas they might not be able to hold that offense back. But yeah, I think as long as they go up against an offense that isn't crazy high powered, um, they're gonna just bludgeon you to death because whatever game they're in for the playoffs, it's not gonna be fun to watch at all.
No,
But they they'll probably win at least 1 or 2 games in the playoff just based on how they play.
this game was 3-3 at halftime. It was
Yeah.
terrible.
Yep.
Um, but at the same time, when you're in a game like that, it's close. So it is still like you're watching it and you're like, I got to see what happens, but just so slow. Terrible to watch. Um, After that, though, we got a shootout. Vanderbilt, Tennessee. This was the fireworks of today. Um, Pavia lighting it up. In fact, his brother gets arrested for public intoxication at the game. So we get that going. Crowd's rowdy. And final score 45-24. Over hits, baby. Finally got one to go in out of my 6 picks. Um, but yeah, I think Tennessee showed you that they are not on the same level as the rest of the SEC. Like that's kind of
Yep.
my takeaway.
Yep. Yep. They're exactly who we thought they were in these spots, I think, for this season. And yeah, I mean, Pavia's brothers just all time drunk guys. Like apparently they just get rocked at all these games and
Yeah.
they throw out the do you know who my brother is because it's working and he is a hero and he did it again. So the fact that he got written up for a citation is a little bit criminal in my literally it was criminal. But
It was
come on,
criminal.
guys can't get drunk at the games anymore.
That's what I was thinking. Public intoxication at a football game, like, that is
He
just
must have been.
wild to me.
Yeah, he's done
Yeah,
it twice now. He got in trouble in Nashville, like downtown Nashville, which is
yeah.
also very hard to do. So they must be some heavy boozers.
Yeah, we'll have to get him on the show.
We
Off-season
keep saying
project.
that.
Every week. Um, and then Wisconsin at Minnesota. We both thought, hey, maybe we take the over here. 38.5 seems low, right? When everybody zigs, we zag. I didn't actually take it. I don't think you
No,
did either. And
couldn't get
thankfully
myself
we
to do that.
didn't, because it was 7-17 and the boats were rowing. Minnesota wins and they end the hot streak. Wisconsin, I said it last week. They were the hottest team in the country, and that all ends, and we can finally put this season to bed for the Badgers and let Fickle try to rebuild.
Yep. I couldn't do it. I was gonna bet on Wisconsin. I couldn't click the button. It was too gross earlier this year. I don't care what I saw the last couple weeks. It just not for me.
Very smart, Joe. I'm proud of you.
Thank
That's
you.
growth.
That is, yeah, thank you.
In the later slate, we got the Pac-12 championship, Oregon State at Wazoo, and Washington State wins 32-8, and we now have Pac-12 co-champions
Yeah.
uh, between Washington State and Oregon State. They split the series 1-1, and they will now both have the trophy. So
Yep. This was my dumbass bet of the week. Washington State playing for bowl eligibility with 5 wins. Empty Martin Stadium in Pullman. Did not love to see that, but Thanksgiving break, cold, team's bad, just a hard sell. So hard to see that on the TV. But for some reason in my head, I thought, hey, Oregon State, 14 and a half, that's a lot of points. And I mean, what the fuck was I thinking? That's the every week I get burned by something that I just know is not the right call, and again it happens. So that's on me. Negative growth. So I'm back to zero. I had one growth from not betting Wisconsin, but then -1 growth for betting on Oregon State. So I'm even in the growth
neutral,
category.
break
Yep.
even week for you.
Yep.
Perfect. Uh, let's go to the Iron Bowl. Alabama, Auburn. This line was like 6.5, came down to 5.5, and then an hour before the game just jumps up to 7. And Alabama takes the early lead. They got up 17-0. Looked like this game might be a blowout. But the Iron Bowl, it's never a blowout. And Auburn comes storming back. And eventually this game, I don't know. It was tied up in the fourth quarter, and Alabama had to convert a couple fourth downs. And the first fourth down they went for was at like their own 50. If they don't get that one, there's a good chance they lose this game. So it felt like season on the line. Ty Simpson, he rolled out, had nobody open, and he just shook for his life, made a couple guys miss, and got just enough yards to get a first down. They go down, score. I saw a lot of phantom, like late flags, like interesting flags that came out seconds after the play. Like the DBs had already done the seatbelt celebration and dapped up all their teammates, and then just a flag comes flying out. That's the Iron Bowl for you. That's just SEC reffing for you. And they went both ways too. It wasn't just like lopsided one team. It's just all over the place. But eventually, Auburn fumbles on the final drive trying to tie it up, and they lose this game by 7. So I took the +7 and ended up pushing on it.
Yeah, that's fair. I took Bama first half money line. That was one of my sharpest plays of the week
Sharp.
because felt like it was coming out. And we talked about it, the curse, the Eagles. Saw the eagle flying around,
Damn
war
it.
eagles flying around, and his brethren, or I think this one was a girl, so her sisters are underneath that field. So there's got to be some sort of curse when she flies around that field. She's just spreading the bad juju around. So yeah, the curse was real, and that's why it was always Bama in this slot. But Iron Bowl, you never know. We almost got a classic. Was that quarterback? Was that only his second game? Is that the guy there? That's the
No,
freshman.
I think this was a different kid. I think that was
Okay.
Ashton Daniels. Yeah, I think they just gave us a little taste last week, and they were like,
Okay.
"We're gonna, yeah, show them next year."
Because
Um,
it was Homeboy, and then he got hurt, right?
yeah,
The what's his
Jackson
name?
Arnold,
Jackson Arnold. Yep.
the old
Hey Arnold.
Oklahoma kid. Yeah, he
Yep.
sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy. Yeah. Um, then to cap off the night, little bit of some chasers, whatnot. Your boys, Cal, they host SMU and they play the, you know, pity party, whatever you want to call it. They just ruin the whole ACC in one game. And you always talk about Cal playing the competition. That's what they did tonight. SAG looked great, and they win 38-35. SMU attempts a like 53-yard field goal last play of the game, and it just stays right the whole time. It never curves left. They lose this game and lose a chance to be in the championship. Great way for
Yeah.
SAG to end his Cal career, but he's gone, right? Well, we say it every week.
Yeah. He went 31 for 40, 330 yards and 4 touchdowns. That's why we love him. This is this
Dog,
this is the SAG
dog.
we know and love. This was a huge oversight by us. I did bet it. I bet Cal 13 and a half. It was in a couple plays for me, but this was a massive oversight. Cal had a new coach bump, so I can't believe we missed that. This was the week to be on Cal. Don't know why I didn't have it on my card. Nick Rolovich is the interim head coach. For those that don't remember, he was at Washington State, fired for not taking the COVID vaccine,
Yeah,
which is an electric storyline because
trailblazer.
you know, yeah, he said for religious reasons he's Catholic, he couldn't take the vaccine, sued the university, he got fired anyway. Just some crazy chaos there. So win for him and a win for Cal. What a W. So SAG new spot. Can't wait to see him play for Tennessee. We
See,
s-
all
we
right,
said
calling your shot.
we said Oregon last week, but he was at Oregon
I know.
and then left. You think he
I
goes
think
back?
I thought he left just because he got there and he was like, "Oh, Dante Moore's for sure the guy this year, so I'll just sit
He's
a
like,
year."
he comes
He
back.
already
He's like, "Hey, you guys remember me?"
yeah, he already saw the playbook for like a month. Like he's probably been studying it all year.
He's probably already got some workout gear.
I mean, God, I would just love to see him in Oregon, but yeah. Yeah, I mean, you're right. He was already there and probably not gonna happen, but who knows?
Be fun.
Um, and then the other games, we had UNLV, which we already talked about, belt to ass on Reno. Just a complete spanking, run up the score, try to look good in computer rankings. Um, yeah, that's just what we do. The Fremont Cannon, it stays red, the biggest trophy in all of college football.
Red, dominant performance. Took a minus 20 and a half alternate spread before the game started just because we knew the deal.
You're a beast, dude. You're an absolute beast.
I just
I
have
didn't
belief
have
in
the
the guys.
balls. Yeah. Um, and then other one, Notre Dame, Stanford, that's still going on right now. I got plus 32.5. They're down 36 right now with 5.5 minutes left. It's
And
third
the
and
ball,
long.
and the ball.
Yeah, so I'm sweating right now. I'm watching the game. I'm not gonna lie, I also teased it to 38.5. I paired that with Cal. So I will hit that one most likely as long as Notre Dame doesn't score. But I don't have a lot of faith because I'm watching this game and I think they just checked in like a make-a-wish kid at quarterback for Stanford. As I say that, he's breaking off a 30-yard run. Oh my God. He looks like Josh Allen. He's number 17. Holy shit. Um, But, like, right before he went in the game, he was, like, wearing a headset, and, like, everybody started, like, clapping and patting him on the back. All the coaches came up and, like, and then someone just handed him a helmet, and he threw it on. So, I don't know what the deal is with this kid, but I don't think he plays very much, and he's now
He's about to score for sure.
my final pick of the week relies on this kid. So, that's what I got going for me. Um, but yeah, that was the Mojo Sports week 14 recap, and we're excited to dive into championship week with you guys on the next episode. And then from there, we're going to hit some bowl game projections, and who knows? We'll see where we go from there. But we appreciate you guys joining us, and that's all I got for you. We will see you again Thursday morning.
Adios.